I was privileged to meet a gentleman called Quincy Troop. Quincy Troop was a famous Negro League catcher. He played with the Cleveland Buckeyes. And he has a son, Quincy Troop Jr., who's done a number of things here at Schomburg Center. He's an outstanding author, and he's done a number of presentations right here. Quincy Troop was able to get me a job with the Kansas City Monarchs. And for 3 years, I had a chance to play with the Kansas City Monarchs. I was there as a complete stranger, the only guy from New York, but somehow it worked out. And what I remember most about playing with the Kansas City Monarchs or playing with any of those teams in the Negro League is that the game itself was easy. The drama was in where we would eat and where we would sleep. That was always the issue, especially during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. Weekends were okay because normally we would play in a large city on a weekend, and we would be able to handle stuff like that. But during the week, that was always a hassle. One of the things that we were pretty much organized because we knew that when we came into a small town, we had to find out where the restaurants were or where the supermarkets were. If the restaurants closed, and many of them did, at dark, and we were playing night games, and we finished at 11 o'clock, we would have to make sure that our bus driver would get to the supermarket. We'd give him our meal money, and he would get some cold cuts and bread, stuff like that, and before they would close and while we were playing. And then after the game, we would at least have something to eat. But that happened on many occasions because many towns they closed up at dark. The weekends were great because we had a chance. We had an opportunity to find a restaurant, especially in large towns like Birmingham, Memphis, Kansas City. We were okay then. There were hotels there where we could stay. There were restaurants where we could eat. It turned out to be a pleasure to play on a weekend. We always look forward to weekends. In fact, we never worried about, the only time we ever worried about rain or bad weather was on the weekends because the weekends provided us with nice-sized crowds, and of course, we knew that good crowds meant we were going to get paid on the 1st and the 15th, okay? During the week, it didn't bother us if we got rained out. In fact, sometimes we were so tired, we welcomed the rain. We would be very careful about making it known publicly because we didn't want the bus driver to know because the bus driver always seemed to be like a snitch, and he would and he would tell the owner, those guys are happy that it rained, you got rained out. So we kept that from him, but that didn't bother us at all. Every once in a while, it was great to have a day off because we were playing just about every day. Somehow we squeezed in about 140 games between May 1st and Labor Day, which meant that sometimes we played doubleheaders. Sometimes we'd play in a town on a Saturday morning and then jump in the bus and go somewhere and play Saturday night in another town. But the one thing I remember about playing with the Monarchs, and it was mentioned in Bob's presentation, that we were always interested in, especially on weekends, if there would be some music in the town that we were heading for. And in many cases, we crossed paths with musicians who were playing either in the same hotel or they were playing in that town. And to me, that was really one of the most delightful things about this experience because we always were interested in who it might be. Was it somebody we knew? And also that would give us a chance to liven up our experience because we had fun playing baseball, but it was nice to be able to hear some live music every once in a while. We would let them into the ball game, and they would bring they would bring their entire entourage into the stadium wherever we were playing, and often they would bring maybe 5 or 6 guys, a quintet or a sextet, and they would play between innings, and they entertained the crowd. So there was a common bond there, and it really was. It was for us. It was really. It was more than entertaining. It had something to do with the kind of bond that we had. It was really exciting for us because we always felt that there was a connection, and that connection was more than evident on many weekends. One of the things that I remember most about our contact with musicians was we were playing in Baltimore on our way to Washington, D.C., and Nat Cole was playing. He was in the same town that particular day, and his car broke down. He decided that he would ask us, could he ride the bus with us? And, of course, we said yes. And he left his chauffeur there to take care of the car. When he got on that bus, he found an empty seat right next to me. Now, I had a seatmate that time, but my seatmate had not gotten on the bus, and he was out of luck. So that trip, that 50-mile trip, was probably one of the most exciting trips that I can remember because I had Nat Cole sitting next to me, asking me my name. I knew who he was. But Nat Cole pulled out his cigarette holder. Now, we didn't have any smoking on the bus. But Nat Cole, he smoked on that bus. And the guys on the teams, everybody looked around and said, who's smoking? Who's smoking? And I said, Mr. Cole. And they said, okay.